Okay, and welcome back. We're so happy that you guys are here with us again. We had a great morning session and a lot of neat things were talked about and highlighted, and I hope that you enjoyed every aspect of that. And then we ended it with a great time with Kent running around campus. The best part of that, Mr. Q, was seeing him get hammered with snowballs.
I loved it.
It was great. Hopefully they'll do it again.
Down on his head, down his back.
That's right. If we let them have the mic again and the camera, we'll be sure to pay the students again to make sure that happens. But public relations here at the school, and his job is really the front lines. He's out there with you, meeting you, and in your churches and at your various events throughout the year. And Dwayne, you do a great job on public relations. What is your favorite aspect of public relations?
Well, it has to be coming to a local church with our PR groups and being a blessing, we trust, to them with our singing groups that come in, and just maybe creating a special day for them at their local church. And having an opportunity to be with the pastor. Sometimes we get to go to the parsonage for an after-service meal and just the fellowship with the pastors. We enjoy traveling and being in all the places around the nation. It's just a blessing.
He not only travels today, he traveled in PR back when he was a student, and we could spend a lot of time telling stories from the road. But we may have some of you watching, and so we don't want to talk too much, And by the way, if you're watching, it would be great if you liked, if you shared. We'd love for you to share this with all your friends, because that just gets the word out. And the more people watching, the better, the more likes. And if you'd like to comment, we'd love to hear from you. Perhaps you'd like to say something about your travels for the school. Maybe you were in PR. In fact, if you were in PR, why don't you say that right in the comments right now? We'd love to say hi to you.
A lot of students from across the years.
Oh my goodness, and wonderful students, and some not so wonderful. But hey, who's counting? Right? Who's counting? Along with your public relations responsibilities, Dwayne, one of the things that I know you're passionate about is something that we started a few years ago, and we call it Pastor to Pastor. And that comes from your pastoral background. You're a pastor through and through. Comes from my pastoral background. We care about pastors.
Absolutely.
And so tell me a little bit about the driving force behind that. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you just being a nice guy, or do you really like pastors?
Well, I remember the first time you called me and asked me to consider coming to God's Bible School, my alma mater, and serving as the public relations director. One of the things you said in that phone call is, and I was sitting in my office as a pastor when you called, and you said, I would like for you to be the director of our public relations, but I would also like for you to be a friend to pastors.
Yes.
And when you said that, my heart leaped because I, almost 30 years, been in the pastorate, and I understand, I think, much of what pastors are experiencing today. And so we created this ministry out of public relations that's called Pastor to Pastor. And the idea is not that I am or we are pastoring pastors. It's more in the expression of friend to friend.
Yes.
One pastor to another pastor.
That's right.
I don't feel like I have the answers. I've had a lot of experiences across the 30 years of pastoral ministry, but certainly don't have all the answers. And I find that pastors really aren't looking necessarily for answers as much as they're looking for a friend, a confidant.
That's right.
Someone who can walk that journey with them. And so we are privileged to connect with pastors in addition to our PR groups traveling. I often am meeting with pastors one-on-one and sharing a cup of coffee and just letting them talk and share many times the joys of ministry, what God is doing, I get a greater blessing, I think, out of it than maybe they do. And of course, sometimes sharing some burdens.
That's
as
right.
well.
And it's so important for them to have a safe person to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful ministry. I know I've had many pastors tell me over the course of the last several years that when you walk up and they see your hand go into your inside coat pocket, what do you have hidden in there?
So often I will have gift cards, $5 gift cards from Dunkin' Donuts. Dairy Queen's a popular one in the summertime. And I give those to pastors and church leaders, and I handwrite on every one of those. I've tried to come up with a different slogan, but I always go back to this one because I like it, and I think it says what we want to say to you as pastors and church leaders. I always write with a permanent marker, "Thank you for being faithful."
Yes.
And I think that's what really is at the heart of pastor to
That's
pastor. Right. Pastors need to know that they're seen, they're recognized, they're appreciated, and that they're making a difference.
Amen.
And so that's really the message we're trying to communicate. And I don't know, I think I'm settled in on that being the permanent slogan on the gift card. So thank you for being faithful. If you've got one that says something different, that's a collector's item.
Keep it and turn it back in. We'll give you one that says thank you for being faithful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a great idea. And we want you to know, pastors, that we love you. And if you need something, we want you to know that we're not just here to schedule services at your church.
Right.
We're here to be the Aaron and Hur,
Yes.
to hold up your arms in the thick of the battle, and to be someone that you can give your burdens to give your successes to. We want to celebrate with you as much as we can. Along those lines, my dream for that obviously is much bigger than just handing out a gift card.
Right.
That's just our way of saying thank you. But I'd love eventually, and I think some things are in work, to have some crisis counseling. Mm-hmm. Let's say a pastor is just overwhelmed and you don't know where to turn. You can't give it to your board because they don't understand, and your conference president perhaps may not understand. And we want to provide a mechanism where you don't even have to reach out to us, but there's a hotline that you could call. And there's a qualified counselor on the other end who can walk you through whatever difficulty that you're facing. I want to see it expand beyond just pastors too, Dwayne, and to help in crises.
Yes.
We pastored long enough.
Right.
I have 17 or 18 years of pastoral ministry. You have 30 combined. That's 50 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. But we want to have people in place for crises. Mm-hmm. Churches have crises, right?
That's right.
And many times, I know in my world, it was bigger than me. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the tools and the resources. Mm-hmm. And so I want to see that expand to where there's some crises counseling. And the neat thing about this is we have one right here among us at GBS who is so well suited, and that's Brother Miles.
Absolutely.
And we've talked, he and I, and he wants to be that type of resource and come alongside. And so it's not just handing them a gift card. It's not taking them out for coffee alone. It's not scheduling services or eating a meal. We want to give back in tangible ways for that effect as well, and make a difference for the kingdom. And, of course, if they want to schedule...
Oh, yeah. We are happy to schedule services. And again, our greatest reason for coming is not, honestly, it's not to receive from a church. Sometimes pastors say, what does it take to get a GBS PR group?
50,000 today, right?
No. 50,000. No, I just say it's an invitation. That's what we're looking for. To get one of our trios or quartets to come to your church, we're just looking for an invitation. Because we are about training for ministry here.
That's right.
And in my mind, there is no, one of the great ways to do that, I should say, is to take our groups to maybe a small church that can't afford maybe a larger group to come, and just bring a group in and let them be a blessing.
Absolutely.
And we want to roll out of that PR van and do that whenever we come.
Absolutely. One of the ways that you can give today is through sponsoring or offsetting the cost of a student. And your PR members would be right there among some of those students that we're helping to offset their tuition with. And so if you were in PR and you would like to help offset the scholarship that they received for traveling for PR, we'd love for you to do that. It's about $1,250 a month a student, and you can do that through the website giving.gbs.edu. There's a link on the screen right there. You can click on that link and you can give right now. And we're going to give an update in a little bit about what God has done through Giving Tuesday so far. I'm so excited to see where we're at, and thank you for what you're doing. You can also give through Cash App. Cash App's been a bit of a problem lately. They shut us down for what they're saying is fraudulent activity. All we did was transfer money out. But we were able to open up another one. It's God's Bible College, okay? Not God's Bible School and College, but God's Bible College. And you can give through that, and that'll come right to us. Just make sure on the memo line you put Giving Tuesday. And if you also give online through the giving.gbs.edu, make sure that you put Giving Tuesday as well. There's several options there. You can sponsor an hour of operations. That's only $900. I got amused saying it because it's astronomical, but it's the real cost. You can sponsor a day's worth of meals for a student.
700 something?
Well, not quite 700 for meals a day.
Oh, meals.
25. I don't know where you eat, Dwayne.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, our cafeteria.
If you get the salad bar, maybe we tack on a little extra.
but $25 a day to help
I
offset.
saw a 700 number somewhere.
Yeah, 700. I'd have to look again because I can't remember it off the top of my head. You can sponsor a Bible class.
500.
No.
5,000.
Yes, there we go. See, next time, Dwayne, would you read your cheat sheet so that we're not looking so foolish here?
20-some thousand a day.
Yes, that's right. Hey, man, he did read something.
You'd think the PR guy would figure it out.
A little over $20,000 a day to run this place, and that staggers me.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happens, except for the fact that we have an army of supporters.
Absolutely.
Many of you who are watching right now who come alongside of us, and you give through the 1810 Sustaining Donor Program. You send in monthly checks. You respond to the appeal letters that are sent out, and we want to say a big, huge thank you for all of you who are giving. Again, I remind you, if you know somebody who ought to be watching this or would enjoy it, like this post, share it with your friends, and let's get the word out that just small amounts. Dwayne, I said this in the earlier session, so if you watched it, you might know. What's the average gift to the school?
30, I want to say 33.
It's dead on. Yes, 33. So everybody can do it. $33 is the average gift. You can do that. If you can do that, I know that it'll be a tremendous blessing to the school. We appreciate it so very, very much.
You know, one of the things, Mr. President, that I like to say when I am traveling and talking to congregations or camp crowds is that GBS is a natural next step for our young men and women who are maybe part of our family, and they're a high school senior, they're graduating, they're turning the tassel. And GBS is a next step for them as they're going to that young adult phase of their life.
Right.
It's probably not the best idea to send them right out into a secular campus, college campus. But if they can have a place where they're becoming more independent of dad and mom, and they're becoming young adults, if they can have a place like God's Bible School where they can go and be surrounded by mentors and be in a spiritual environment and also get a quality education while they're preparing for their life, their future, it's just a natural next step that really is continuing what pastors are starting in their local churches and dads and moms are doing in their Christian homes. It's the next step, and I think it's a wonderful plan.
And it is. And Dwayne's not just saying that; he's lived it. So he was out in the pastoral world. You kind of did it backwards because he sent all of his children here, and they worked through college, and then he came to campus while Stuart was just finishing up, and it's a testimony of his belief in the system.
I believe in it.
Ashley, tell us about the pathway Ashley took.
So Ashley is, I like to say Ashley's in full-time Christian ministry, though she works just a few blocks away from here at Christ Hospital. Ashley came to God's Bible School, did an associate's degree And then while she was still a resident in our dormitory here, was a student at Christ Hospital School of Nursing and got her Bachelor of Nursing degree there. And she's been a nurse at Christ Hospital now for 6 years, I think.
Wow, can't believe it.
And, you know, one of the things that's so beautiful, and it's a proud dad moment, but I think it's the GBS influence and stamp on her life, is that she has a heart for missions. And so Ashley just last night was telling me that she was able to get a scheduled shift where she's able to go to Honduras this February.
Oh, wow.
Ashley's done so many missions trips.
Yes.
And recently this summer was 9 weeks on the Mercy Medical ship, hospital ship off the coast of Madagascar. So she's working as a nurse, and I know that what she's doing on the 5th floor there at Christ Hospital is ministry.
Amen.
But the mission trips that she does is also ministry.
I just wonder how many of those who are watching right now have worked at Christ Hospital when they were a student here, because I think it's a vast number of folks. So Ashley came, she did the nursing thing, lived in our dorm. What a tremendous benefit that is for us and them. But then Autumn came, traveled PR, right?
Autumn traveling PR.
And I think it was probably through PR.
You know what's a miracle about that?
Tell me.
She graduated valedictorian or salutatorian, I can't remember. Anyway,
Better than you or me, right?
As a PR student. So it's kind of hard for me to hear these PR students talk about their
woes.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know, valedictorian or salutatorian is better than I graduated, I promise.
Me too.
Yeah, so anyway.
So Autumn graduated, and she actually is married, and they are, she and her husband are pastoring a church in Iowa.
Yeah, it's
And,
exciting.
They are,
And you're a grandpa.
a grandpa,
Oh,
a granddaughter,
man, you're
a
old.
grandson, and it's just a blessing.
You're older than I thought, Dwayne, being a grandpa.
It makes you young, keeps you young.
Yeah, I understand. I am too, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to Scott and Kate and Charlotte and Madeline. Make sure that you guys like this right now.
Yeah, and give.
And yes. And then Stuart.
Stuart was here right as I came as a student in the ministerial program, and Stuart actually worked for me in public relations for a couple of years, and graduated, and he is in...
He married a kind of a sketchy gal, though.
Yeah,
right?
he married into the Loper family, and
yes.
she is also preparing for a life of ministry as a potential pastor's wife, but also, of course, they're married, but I'm not certain. I'll let God guide the future.
Yeah, I think, Stuart feels a call to ministry.
Planning to pastor, I think.
They're pastoring a little
But
church
she's going
right now.
Brianna's going to be a nurse. She
That's
graduates with a nursing degree in May.
Yeah.
And then Stuart graduated with a ministerial degree, and he is currently preaching at a church in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
So the point of all that is that his students, his children came, various pathways.
Yeah.
You have a nurse, you have a pastor's wife, you have a ministerial major.
And a
They're out-
barista. Kaylee's a barista.
Oh, I forgot about Kaylee.
Kaylee's a barista
Yeah.
at 610 Salem, Illinois, 610 Coffee Shop.
and doing
that's
great work
ministry.
there at Salem Church. Yeah, so it's wonderful. That's what we're training people to do,
right.
go out and make a difference for the kingdom of God. And we are so excited to be making a small difference in the lives of students. I said this earlier, I'll say it again, I'll say it many times throughout the day. If you want to make a difference in the future,
That's right.
make an investment in students today,
Absolutely.
and you will make that impact. And so I encourage you, stand with us, come alongside. We unashamedly ask you to give. The people sitting right here, Dwayne and I, give to this organization. We know where the dollars go, and we're giving.
That's right.
And we're asking you to come alongside and help us. Dwayne, thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to enter into the next time with Aaron and Sonia. They're going to talk about some things that are happening here. But man, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me here.
We'll be
God bless you all. Thank
following
you.
up in the near future. Aaron, come along. Aaron's going to join us. He's getting ready to talk about other aspects of what God's doing here on our campus. And Aaron, welcome back.
Thank
Hope
you.
you had a great lunch.
I did.
And
We eat well on this campus.
I'm
They take
telling
good
you,
care of us.
that cafeteria food is phenomenal. And, you just kind of wait for it to turn into school food.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still waiting. 22
man.
years, I'm still waiting.
Wow. We have people in those positions who feel called.
Absolutely, and it shows.
And, we want so desperately for the folks in that food service area to feel like this is a ministry, and they bought in, and we're so pleased with that.
Absolutely.
And thank God for that. So giving.gbs.edu, you've heard enough from me for a little bit. Again, I'm going to turn it over to the folks who work right on the front lines. They're involved in the lives, and Aaron, you're right there. And Sonia's going to come take my seat. And you guys just tell the story.
We're gonna do it.
You don't need me to guide it. You guys can tell it. And so thank you.
Absolutely. We are going to talk about a little different topic from this morning as Sonia gets in here. This morning we talked about discipleship and spiritual formation. And we also want to talk about the leadership and ministry development in our students as they prepare for the future. President Loper has been saying throughout the day that investing in God's Bible School is really not investing in us, the buildings, the programs. You're investing in the students, and that's the future of the church. And one of the joys of working here is being able to see the future of the church, and we're excited about what God's doing.
Very much so.
For the future.
Very much so.
There's that famous John Maxwell definition of leadership, that leadership is influence. And I think if we think about that, it's pretty all-encompassing. And so in this segment, we're going to talk some about the leadership development in students and the ministry development in students. And I can't help but start with where President Loper left us off, with food services.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the wonderful opportunities for our students to develop leadership skills on our campus comes in the work program.
It does.
It's not just a way to pay for your school bill.
Right.
You're gaining practical skills. You're learning things that can be used in future ministry.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think about food services and students who are head cooks.
Right.
The work, and you supervise that.
Yes, I do. And I love to watch students come in, and I'm thinking of students right now that came in their first year, started working in food services, and now in the evenings especially, I go down there, there's not a full-time staff person to be seen, and still they're pumping out great meals. Things are going well because we have students in leadership. And I think that's just a great way. And we also, and this maybe sounds like a small thing, but I don't think it is. Part of leadership and service is simply learning to serve people
for sure.
and to care about people. And one thing I love that our student workers are so good at doing, and I think our staff people down there model this in the cafeteria, is as people are coming through the line, they remember what I had somebody say to me one time. I came through the line, I turned around to get my milk, and there wasn't anyone in the milk cooler, and one of the people behind the thing said, "Oh, you get 2 milks. Let me go back and get you some
that's
milk."
So cool.
He was like, how in the world did they know, right? But they notice those small things. They remember maybe who has a sensitivity to certain things. That to some people seems like a small thing. That's not a small thing.
Gift.
That's Christian service. That's loving our neighbor.
Loving others,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
I get to see some of that downstream. I attend church with a GBS graduate who worked as a head cook part of her time in college. And she now is integrally involved in event planning and event development at our church.
I love it.
Just recently, Pastor Appreciation, we kind of handed it to her to run the meal for Pastor Appreciation Sunday. Flawless. And I can't help but see a connection between the leadership she showed on campus, the leadership and the service, the love for others that she's showing, not just in events at our church, but many things where she and her husband and other GBS grads fill in. In addition to work, I've been thinking about the Engage program, our ministry formation program.
Yes.
We talked this morning a little bit about one of the aspects of Bible college accreditation is all students being involved in practical application in ministry. And here we call that the Engage ministry formation program. That word engage is there to remind our students we're not just checking a box here, we're engaging with souls. Right. We're having kingdom encounters, the kingdom of God encountering the kingdom of darkness as they minister to people. And Matt brought in a couple student leaders from that.
Just lights my
fire
when I see students taking initiative.
Absolutely.
And I think not even just doing it because they have to.
Oh, right.
Right? And yes, you have to, but when they take it that step further.
For sure.
And say, I'm getting the vision of what's actually happening as I'm doing this.
Yes. And can I make this better? Can we impact souls more effectively? And Dr. Hallam, I think, will be back later with additional students who are in leadership. And one more I want to highlight, and then I know we want to bring in some other folks
Sure.
here. We have something kind of new. We haven't talked a ton about it. We're still developing it, but we got a couple of years ago to thinking about how do we get our ministerial students more engaged in practical ministry in church settings.
Right.
It's great to take Bible classes, great to take ministry classes. It's great to be involved in ministry on campus. How do we help them transition to a local church setting?
And maybe not just their internship, which is also
beyond the
important,
internship,
but beyond
absolutely.
that.
More
can be-
long-term.
Exactly.
And so we developed what we call an honors mentorship program. We don't want honors only to be
Yes.
academic. You know, at graduation, you have Dwayne and the president were just talking about valedictorian, salutatory, and other awards, and those tend to be academic. But we wanted to say, no, being mentored by a local pastor, by a denominational leader, becoming involved in the life of a local church, that's honors also. And so we have this honors mentorship program. Upper level ministerial majors are paired one-on-one with a veteran pastor, a denominational leader. And it looks different depending on the student, depending
Right.
on the pastor. Just this Sunday night, a student who's participating in that program, being mentored by my pastor, preached a sermon at our church. So he's
love that.
getting feedback
Yes.
from real people, not just classmates.
Right.
And I love the leadership and ministry development and the heart that's developing in
Absolutely.
our ministerial students.
Absolutely.
We could go on and on.
Yes. And we do at times.
And we do. Because the truth is, and you and I know, folks don't know, we share an office suite.
We do.
We share an administrative assistant. And this is not something we just do on this live stream.
It's not.
It's not uncommon for
We
us to be
get
in,
s-
we'll
we
be in
get-
each other's offices talking about
Guess
what God
what
is
just
doing,
happened? Guess,
what God's doing in students' lives. Absolutely.
Guess what I just heard one of our students did. And it's really cool.
It's why we do what we do.
It is.
And,
It is.
And the next folks that we're going to bring on
Yes.
have an even closer seat
Absolutely.
to some of that.
Front
I'm going to
row,
slide over a
front
little
row.
and let Daryl come in.
Yes, so Daryl Muir, welcome. Yes, and I'm going to have to share this with Daryl. So that means you can only talk when I.
She's been waiting for this. She's been waiting for this opportunity, Daryl.
She loves to keep me silent.
Yes. No, Daryl Muir is our Dean of Men currently. Daryl, remind me, how long have you been here?
13 years.
Okay.
Came in 2012 after 27 years of pastoring.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm a veteran pastor.
Yes, so he's got a little bit of experience working with people. So we're just thrilled to have him in our men's dorm. And I've asked the deans to come on, and we're talking about student leadership. And as a student affairs department, this is something that's really close to our heart. I think sometimes, and I think, Daryl, you can attest to this, but sometimes when people think of student affairs, they think those are the people that enforce the handbook, right? And sure, that's part of what we do. That's an important part of what we do.
Sure.
But it's so much more than that. And not only do we get to do the mentoring that I'm going to have them talk about, but we also get a front row seat to what God is doing. And so, Daryl, why don't you, I'm going to actually have you take this, and why don't you just share a little bit of what you're seeing God do in your dorm and some of the guys.
So, as Sonia said, our Student Affairs Department does far more than just enforce rules. We have resident assistants, RAs, who, yes, have to do that part of it. But I think our RAs set the tone for campus
I agree.
Yeah.
as far as a spiritual level, morale, exemplifying mentoring. And so, especially my guy RAs, I think they are key to student morale and spiritual level. So I spend a lot of time mentoring them. They in turn spend time mentoring guys who come to them. And some guys will come to me to talk in my office. But a lot of them would rather go to someone who is a peer
Sure.
who can understand where they're coming from. So they might be up till late at night talking to somebody in their office. But girls look to guys for leadership. And so as they mentor others in the dorm, it kind of spreads through the dorm as well as across campus. And so because of their influence, there are prayer groups going on in the dorm, accountability groups going on in the dorm that I have nothing to do with.
Right.
It's totally student driven. On Tuesday nights, they've started a men's meeting that has a couple dozen guys attending in the lounge every week. And I hear stories of guys calling people out because they're not doing things they should be doing, or they're doing things they shouldn't be doing. And there's so much influence because of that. And that carries on into ministry once they leave here as well. You mentioned the work program. I just happened to think when you were saying that, I talked to a guy who is the head of security in a major hospital in another state, purely based on his work in security here.
Wow.
That's the only experience he had.
Yeah.
Now he's the head of security.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
I had a church call me just a few weeks ago. They're between pastors, don't have anybody to preach for them, no musician. So I talked to some guys in the dorm, and they took it up and went to preach for them, got a group of guys together to do music, and led the singing, did a special, played the piano.
I love it.
And now that church has called me again and said they have a new pastor coming, but he doesn't have a musician, either him or his wife.
Yeah.
And so would there be a student who could come? And I have a student who said, let me give him his information. Let me talk to him. Some of the students who have graduated and are in ministry today still talk to us. I know some of Sonia's students talk to her, Katie's as well. My goal, my desire is to see guys leave here not just as preachers, but as disciplers.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Not just even, or if you're
Yes.
if you're just a layman in the pew, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and in a vocation or a profession, you're somebody who can be an influence and a
Yes.
mentor and
Yes.
a discipler in
Absolutely.
that church setting.
I love
That's
that.
that's what we're doing here.
This morning, Mr. Miles talked about culture, and it sounds like there's a dorm culture
Absolutely.
of initiating ministry and edification, which
Absolutely.
is you can't pay any price for that. It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Daryl. And I think too, that can't be top down.
No, has
Right?
to be real.
We can't make that happen. Yes, we can model it,
Sure.
but we can't force those kinds of
It
things.
says so much about the character of our students.
Absolutely.
And that's why we said earlier we're excited about the future of the church, because
Very
we're
much
seeing
so.
people
Very
leaning
much
into
so.
the work of the kingdom.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Daryl. What an exciting thing. I'm going to have our Dean of Women, Katie Marsh, and then Katie, you just heard the previous conversation. Katie this is her second year as Dean of Women. We're just thrilled that she's here. She's been doing a phenomenal job, and she's also just a great boots on the ground person to mentor and to model what the servant leadership looks like. Katie, what are you seeing in the women's dorm?
Yeah, so I think I can echo quite a bit of what Daryl has already said, but just a lot of students stepping up and taking the initiative. One thing that I've been noticing, especially lately, is seeing them come by the office and share what they're learning in the classroom and how excited they are to put it into practice, not after they graduate, but right now. And they're seeing how they can use some of those skills, not just in the dorm with each other, but I think especially when they have the semesters, when they're in a class where they're learning how to share the gospel. And I see them leave the dorm when they're heading to Kroger or wherever they're going to share the basic message of the Bible and share the gospel, and how terrified they are. But when they come back, they're so excited. And you see them doing it not just for a class assignment anymore. And you see them taking the initiative, not just leadership here on campus, which is great, but stepping up and taking leadership in our society, right here in Cincinnati, sharing the gospel and just being a witness for Christ. And so seeing that a lot, seeing a lot of our young ladies stepping up and mentoring each other, and some of the older ones taking some of the younger ones under their wings, helping them, whether it's, from school, just practical life things, accountability, Bible studies. We have worship nights in the dorm, and that's primarily been student led. They requested it, and just to hear them just in a calm setting, just hanging out in the lounge, singing, testifying, sharing what God's been doing. I'd love to just sit back and watch that and see what God's doing. And, again, the RAs have a huge part in that. Daryl's already shared that. a lot of times when we meet weekly, they'll share some of the things that they've been doing and just going above and beyond to get into people's lives. And that's super exciting for me to see.
Yeah, I just I would love for you to share just a couple other things. I know I heard about even just some craft nights where there was, and that sounds maybe it's like a craft night, but it wasn't just a craft night. Like, what did they do that first craft night?
Yeah, so the first craft night, they were making cards for every single person in the dorm.
Wow.
And so whether you were there or not, you got a card outside your dorm.
That was all student-led.
That was
too,
completely
right?
student-led. It was their idea. And what was super cool for me to step back and watch is some of the interactions and conversations that are taking place while that's happening. So whether it's craft night, we had a hair tutorial night. Seems kind of silly, but they wanted it. And again, it was just seeing
students that have never had to wear their hair up.
Yes, yes.
Right?
And so that was super helpful for them. I even learned a few things. And so yeah, and again, some of those conversations that are taking place, you see people who you don't maybe generally see in the same friend group, but in a dorm setting like that, they're working together for a common goal. And it's incredible to watch. I love seeing what guys
And
do.
that's just such good preparation for work in a local church.
For life.
Where you're going to
Absolutely,
need to build bridges and partner with people that you don't necessarily have a lot in common with. You're edifying one another, working for a shared purpose. That's
It's incredible to see.
outstanding.
God's doing some amazing things, and we can look at the world around us and get discouraged and depressed. I'm not. I think God's doing some amazing things, and He's doing a lot of those amazing things right here on the campus of GBS. It's incredible.
Super
to watch.
exciting.
Yes.
Super exciting.
I love that so much. We could
We could go on, but we can't.
Yes, we can't. I know we've got other things happening. One other thing I was thinking of as Katie was talking, we also have students that come, that English is a second language. And I think you can attest, we've had students partner up with students that were struggling with their English this year, to help them be able, and that just, again, things that we're not mandating, but they're getting that vision.
Culture.
Yes, absolutely.
You're going to share a couple student stories.
Yes.
And then I think we're going to turn things over to Dr. Hallam to talk more about student ministry. I'm going to get out of here so he can get mic'd up.
Perfect.
While you read those stories.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I told you during the last live stream, we had some students share with me some of the ways that the giving at GBS has blessed them, enabled them to be here. As I said earlier, we want them to be able to come in and enjoy this culture of care and ministry and discipleship. But if they can't afford it, they can't be here. And so your giving directly affects their ability to be here. So let me share two more quick things that students shared with me. Before coming to school this year, I estimated costs over and over. This is one of our upperclassmen that wrote this to me. This was important because my personal savings were depleted and likely to run out around graduation time. Fortunately, I was blessed by a significant scholarship. Because of the scholarship and others I have received during my time at GBSC, I have been able to focus on my studies, developing my teaching skills. I am thankful for all GBSC and its donors do to train the next generation for Christian service. Their financial support helps students like me get a quality education in a timely fashion. Thank you so much, and may God richly bless you. And then another of our international students wrote in, the low tuition and support I received made it possible for me to stay in school and continue working toward my degree. Without that help, it would have been tough for me to afford college bills. GBSC's heart for students, especially the international ones like me, has been a great help. The way they keep costs low for those preparing for the different ministries shows their great love, and I really appreciate that. Because of this support, I can focus on my classes and my calling rather than worrying about debt. I'm thankful to God for the chance to be here more than anywhere else. GBSC has truly shaped me academically, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Thank you for all you do to make this possible. So once again, I believe that link is giving.gbs.edu. We would love for you to continue to partner with us to have a direct impact on these student lives. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Matt Hallam at this time, and he's going to continue talking about what we do here.
Well, I feel like I could have just listened to more of that. That was exciting to hear all the ministry in the dorm. I live here on campus and didn't realize all the different ministries that are happening here on campus. What we want to talk about, though, during this segment is actually ministries that are happening off campus. And as many of you know, GBS has a rich history of ministry in the city. That was one of the reasons it was founded in Cincinnati, because of the opportunities that were here to reach people that were lost. To start out with GIs of the Cross, the Salvation Boat, people going down doing street ministry, the Dove House, which was for homeless women and those that were coming out of prostitution. So GBS has a rich history of that, but it's something that's still happening now. I know when I was just a student, in 2002, I was looking around for ministries, and there were so many different options. I got involved right away in a Sunday afternoon kids club down at Main Street, and then also Teen Power. The next year, they asked me to be a pastor at Main Street Chapel, which I have continued to be for the most part for the last 20 years. So after my wife and I graduated, we felt God calling us here and have continued in that ministry. That has given us a unique perspective to see many of the students that have come through, just their journey into ministry and what they've done. I have two with us today, and I'll let them introduce themselves, but they're joining me today here, and they're probably one of my favorite guys here on campus. We do a lot together. We've had a lot of fun memories, a lot of good times in ministry, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves here at this time. So you go ahead.
Well, my name is Zachary Pillmore. I am from Morrow, Ohio, which is about 40 minutes away. I've grown up on the river, though. My dad is an assistant pastor, and I have been helping at Main Street and Teen Power for roughly 2-ish years now. So time flies by when you're having a fun time with good people.
It feels like it's been longer than that, but yes, a lot happens in 2 years. So then we got Malik. I'll let you introduce yourself,
All right.
Malik.
My name is Malik Evigan. I love it here at GBS. I got saved probably several years ago, and actually used to go to Main Street Chapel, and basically their mission is just turning urban people into Christian leaders, and like God has helped me in there. And yeah, I'm a GBS student, and I'm a junior in the ministerial division, so that's me.
Well, if you were with us earlier, you understand that our students often do multiple ministries at one time. So it's hard to pigeonhole down to just one, and that's true of these guys as well. But I asked them to focus on each a specific ministry. So Zach, I would like you to tell us a little bit specifically about Teen Power. You've been involved a lot with teens. Tell us what happens on a Tuesday night at Teen Power. And then also tell us a little bit about you lead the Sunday morning teen class at Main Street. So you're very much involved. We don't have an official title for you, but you're pretty much youth pastor. What's that look like?
Yeah, so Tuesday nights we go around, we have a bus, we'll pick up a lot of the kids, do our routes, and then we bring them all in, and I love that part of the day when all the kids are coming in, because you're kind of giving them all hugs and high fives, and I like bothering them, so I'm always kind of bugging them a little bit. And then we'll settle down, we'll sing, we'll have a devotional, have a game, so get some of their energy out. And we do all kinds of games. A lot of times we like doing games that interact them with each other. I think even within a group like that, as any youth pastor would know, it is easy for them to segregate themselves and stay in their group. And a part of our purpose and drive at Teen Power and Main Street is to get them connected with each other as a church body. And we'll just do that. We'll play games that hey, we have this one that has a tarp, and then it drops, and there's two people standing, and they have to yell the person's name out. And it's always funny. Sometimes they're like, oh.
I think people would have to be there to understand how funny it is. Because you'd think people that come to church together for 15 years, some of them would know their names, but you drop the tarp and realize that after 15 years, they still don't know who they are, because they come from different neighborhoods.
We always try to do a devotional and then sometimes an object lesson with that devotional to really kind of make that stick. And then we'll have snacks, and then a lot of times small groups. And that's a nice time for them to get together with a smaller group, with a leader, and then they can talk over the issue more in depth. Sometimes we'll have them act out the issue. Maybe it's how to deal with anger. So we'll have them come up and do a skit about what a Christian's way of dealing with anger is. And it's just a good time of getting together, and then we'll drop them all back off, have fun on the way. Sometimes we'll sing songs, and I love every aspect of it.
Now you grew up Morrow, Ohio. People may not know where that's geographically. Some of you guys would know, but that's pretty rural area. And then 2 years ago, actually it was before that, I remember you came down a little bit, but really 2 years ago, you said, this is where I feel like I should be for this time in my life. Now I know you have other ministry aspirations possibly in the future, see where God's leading. But what was it that made you take that step from just being at your own comfortable church to saying, I'm going to go down and do ministry here? And you actually moved into the neighborhood. I mean, some of the kids that are coming to our church, some of the worst ones, I'll say, lived in the apartment building where you lived at.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had all
Sorry,
these...
guys, if you're watching out there. But it's true, and you know.
I love all my Blair kids. So, I had all these goals and aspirations, and God just kept on shutting those doors in my life. And I'd come to GBS. Actually, the reason I came to GBS was somebody who is in my position now, Gregory Hinton. We were at a wedding together, and he mentions the Christian Worldview Scholarship.
Can I pause real quick?
Yeah.
So you may recognize this guy, the position he's talking about. He's actually working as an enrollment recruiter.
Yeah.
You may know him as the chicken guy. I've had people, old ladies come up to me at camp and say, yeah, I saw something about GBS. There was a guy holding a chicken. That is Zach. So if he looks familiar, he does that during the day, and then during his free time, he also does ministry. Sorry, I just had to let them know your position.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man, free college? Okay. Like I really wasn't looking at Bible college. I was just going to go to community college, and I came here. God just used that decision to truly change my life, where I found my wife, and now I found a job. But for a while there, I'd found a lot of good friends, and I did do a little bit of Teen Power, but not much. I did some stuff with Kids Club. I think maybe I did Parish Station, but mainly it was Kids Club. And I'd come over to Teen Power a little bit. And Dorcas, I was leaving for the year. I'd done my free year. I was ready to go. I had these other goals I was going to go to. She said, hey, if you're ever, I was planning on moving out to Arizona at the time. And she said, if you're ever here, you have a position with us. And I kind of was like, oh, that's sweet, but not going to be me,
Right.
And kind of laughed it off. And I left, and God shut those doors and shut those doors. And finally, I just came to this point in my life, which I was sick and tired of training and preparing and doing all the right things to do God's will and to make a difference in the future. And I just wanted to make a difference now. And I was like, you know what? Yes. I want to make a difference with these young people. I think I wanted to originally help the kids when I came to Main Street, but you guys kind of threw me at the teens. I was like, all right, not really my passion, but I fell in love with them. And it
fell in love with you, Zach.
It fulfilled a lot of the goals I had in life. It started to fulfill those goals in ways that I really, didn't necessarily know it was going to. And so I came to Main Street, and the funny thing is, when I came there, my then girlfriend or fiance, who's now my wife, I was like, we don't have to go there all the time. Let's just do it. We can quit whenever we want, go back and forth. And we went there one Sunday, and basically since, we've missed as few Sundays as we can, basically. Sure. And it has been such a fulfilling time for us, and we've been able to pour. We moved to Avondale, and coming from the suburbs and a neighborhood, and then moving to one of the worst sides of Cincinnati, it was a little bit of a culture shock.
I'll be honest, I would not have moved there, and I lived in the city for 20 years. Maybe I know more.
I definitely had to trust God, and some of the jobs I was wanting to do, security is definitely a big thing on my mind, protecting myself and my wife. And I think it was just God really just had me just say, like, hey, you got to trust me, and I really do. And now I'm able to go places that I used to maybe have been a little bit more nervous and scared. And now I think it's partially you get comfortable with the new surroundings, but God, we had some sketchy times in our neighborhood, and that had to deal with ministry, and God protected us and kept us from danger. And we never even had a package stolen. So it's been, now we're living here, but we're still continuing to do ministry in that neighborhood. We've picked up kids from that neighborhood that, I don't even know if they went there when we were there, but I've loved this ministry. Yeah. It's been so fulfilling that, I think a lot of times we look on the news and we see all these problems with the inner city and these problems here, and we shake our fists. But it's like, you can just go out. I'm a big believer in discipleship. I think discipleship is how true ministry oftentimes, that's what Jesus chose to do. Right. And I think if you take the time, whether it's an inner city person, whether it's a low, whatever person is around you, and you take the time to pour into that person, you don't know who they are.
Absolutely.
Osama bin Laden went to college in the United States, and I think if people truly started to build relationships with people and minister to them and just be friends with them, the crime and all these issues we're having would go way down, because people would have a way out, and they would have an example of that way out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you that are tuning in here for our Giving Tuesday, I just want to point out here just his story. I mean, grew up in a pastor's home, grew up here close to Cincinnati, but really it was that step to GBS that opened up those doors. And, you know, GBS is one door that students step through. But I think the amazing thing is here is that once they step through that first door and make that decision that they want to follow God, it opens up so many other doors. It may take them places, good places, that God wants to take them that they wouldn't otherwise have. And GBS has been that throughout the last 125 years of its history, and it still is today. Now, Malik, I want to go to you. You know, Zach had a pathway from rural country just outside of Cincinnati into the inner city. You've had a very different pathway. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you end up at Main Street?
Basically how I ended up at Main Street is, if you guys know, like the ministry, like Prayer Station with like Rodney Keister and stuff. So like several years ago, actually 3 years ago, he went down there to Government Square and he was just preaching. And I felt like the Lord, he was like, if anybody want to come up here and pray, you know? And at that time, I wasn't really following Jesus, like my whole heart. I was kind of lukewarm, and I believe in God, but I didn't want to obey his commandments and stuff. And I went up there and prayed, and that's when I gave my life to Jesus. It was like, honestly, the best choice I ever made, you know. Depression, like, it was like, it got lower, you know, and joy, like this over sense of God's presence in my life is amazing. I started going to Main Street. I think I went to Team Power.
I need to jump in here because I know part of this story. So Malik went down. There was a group of students went down with Rodney Keister, and they were doing outreach ministry while he was here in downtown Cincinnati. I met Malik, and then they told me afterwards, oh, there's this guy named Malik that's going to come to your church, and they gave me an email. Well, you don't know how many times that happens, and I'm like, the guy is never going to come. You know, they never come. You know, when you just meet them on the street, they want money or want something else. Well, next Teen Power, Tuesday night, there's a random guy that shows up at our church, and we don't know who he is. I thought he came on the other bus. They thought he came on my bus, and we realized we don't know who he is. Let's go find out who this strange character is. And went up, and it was Malik. And I'm like, oh, you were the guy they emailed about. That was shocking. What was more shocking was the next Sunday, he showed up again in church. We didn't pick him up. He just showed up in church. That, you know, if it's rare enough for them to come after just meeting him on the street, it was even rarer for them to come back again for another service. And he just kept coming again and again and again. And that really has been the story since you started coming. What's it been, 2.5 years?
Yeah, it's been like 2.5 years, actually.
So I finally took him home one week because he'd always go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I finally took him home one week. And on his way there, I was just talking with him, and he had said, just mentioned in passing, the previous Saturday, he had spent 8 hours in reading his Bible. I'm like, there's something exceptional about this guy. And we won't want to go too long, but I'll say this. We just recently found a little piece of paper that he had set aside for, I don't know, about 3 months or something. He's like, oh, there's my scripture verse list. And there's 64 scripture verses on that, references. And he's like, oh, these were scripture verses I was memorizing. So some of my kids just started giving him the references, and he was quoting them left and right. He knew every single one that was on that page. He knows more scripture than about anyone I know. Now, you're assistant pastor down at Main Street right now, Malik.
Yeah.
Just recently, so you got saved through the ministry. You ended up here at God's Bible School and College. You're in the ministerial program, and there's not really anyone else in your family that's a Christian until recently. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. So actually, actually, when I first became a Christian, like I wanted my family to get saved. That was like first priority. I even wrote I wrote it on a piece of paper. You know, I read about like the book of life, and I put all my family member names on it, and I was like, Lord, you know, when I get to heaven, I want all my family members to go with me. So every day I just started like preaching the word. You know, I memorize a scripture Bible verse, and I'll say, hey, I memorized the scripture. You know, this is what it says. And I asked them, can I pray for them? And usually they allow me to do that. And there's been multiple instances, like my Uncle Chris, he was like a drunkard, you know, he was like alcoholic, like literally. And I kept asking to pray for him. And there was moments he literally knocked on my door and asked for prayer. And I was like, that's pretty amazing. And just one day he was like, you know what? You know, cause his son died and stuff. And that was like his turnover. And he wrote us a letter that he asked the Lord for forgiveness, you know, and he went to Mason, Ohio, and he gave his life to Jesus. And, my twin sister recently got saved August. Wow. And that's been amazing. And I prayed a specific prayer that God will like reach out to her because, you know, this generation, they spend too much time on their phone. And I asked, Lord, I know she spends too much time on her phone. May you send a video her way rather it's on Instagram, TikTok, and get her attention. And the Lord did exactly that. And she gave her life. And I was actually going to spread the gospel to her and try to like ask her to give her life to Jesus. And we actually rode on a bus together. She was like, Malik, I've been thinking about giving my life to Jesus. And I was like, yeah, I asked the Lord for forgiveness. And on that bus right there, I was like, you want to be sure about it? And we prayed on that bus, and she became a Christian. And I was like, wow, God, it's like before I even went out, you went before me, you know, and you went with me, you know. So I was just amazed by that, you know.
And we're praying about her coming here to GBS as well. So we're excited about that. But it's neat how God works through the ministries. It's not just something that people do just to learn for how they can do ministry in the future, but there's actually people that become Christians, and not just become Christians, but now they're going back and becoming ministers as well. I just want to end here with a question for you. There's always memories that you have anytime you're in ministry. Good memories, bad memories, funny memories, whatever. What are your favorite memories? Malik, you go first, and Zach will end with you.
My favorite memory at Main Street Chapel. I love the creed. Like, you start off with the creed, like, yeah, I forgot. The choice has been made. There is no looking back. And I remember I jumped all the way up. Literally, church shoes and everything. I jumped all the way up. And I reached the ground and everybody was shocked. I think I almost hit my head on the roof. And I was like, the choice has been made, guys. We're following Jesus. And like, everybody was laughing and stuff. And I think that's like all-time favorite memory, besides like preaching my first sermon there.
That's probably my most classic memory of you, Malik.
Yeah, there's too many to pick from. I mean, we take them out to youth challenge. Sometimes we'll like not do a teen power, and then we'll take them out there. So that's been really fun. This last year, I was like, I went up on stage and everyone was clapping real loud, and then I realized it was all my Main Street kids just screaming their heads off. I'm like, we're not going to get invited back now. But then we do picnics together. Tyler Vandervoort even made a short video about us. It was David versus Goliath, and I love that video. I don't know why it makes me almost cry when I watch it. Oh, this is my kids.
It's not a crying one, but
but I think I really do just love the little interactions every Teen Power Sunday where they come in and you give them a big hug, or you give them a high five, you rub their head, you do whatever, and you just kind of make those little interactions. It's just kind of like, it really is just like a family. And I'm so grateful to be a part of a ministry in which that's available.
Well, thank you, Malik. Thank you, Zach, for joining us here today. Just wanted to say, that's one of the reasons why you give to GBS. It's not just for the future, and it's not just things that have happened in the past, but there's actually things that are happening here in the present that are making a difference right now. And these guys here, both their lives have been transformed, but they're transforming other people's lives through this ministry. And that's something that's exciting to me, and that's something that I'd be willing to give to.
Matt, that pumps me up, man, hearing those guys testify and tell what God is doing, and to hear Malik and to know about his twin sister getting saved, and what a tremendous thing that is. And it occurred to me, this whole Giving Tuesday is about our donors giving to the school. But we also want to be very clear to any students who happen to be watching what is available to them through GBS. And we want you to know, students, if you're watching, that we want you here.
Absolutely.
This is a place where God can make a difference in your life. And if He's not directly leading you somewhere else, come here. Allow God to work in your life for a year. We have the Christian Worldview Scholarship. It's a no-brainer, right?
Absolutely. And I'd say if they come this spring, we have the Presidential Scholarship, which was even better. Call us and ask about how much better it is. But that is a fantastic opportunity.
It is. The Presidential Scholarship. And that is close to my heart, because I came second semester in 1997, scared to death. I came from a public school background and hadn't been saved real long. I'd been raised in a Christian home, but no amount of proper parenting can take care of the sin principle. Yeah. And I'd gone out and done my own thing and gotten saved recently, called to preach, and came here terrified. And honestly, it was kind of tough getting integrated into the student body second semester.
Sure.
So I want to make it easy. And one of the ways we can make it easy is by helping them with a presidential scholarship. So
Absolutely.
check that out, students. And if you're an influencer on here, a parent or a pastor or a youth worker, tell students to come, and we'd love to see it. Matt, you're doing a great job, both here on campus and at Main Street. Thank you for your work.
Absolutely. Good being with everyone.
We're having a great time, and I hope these stories are warming your heart and making a real difference in your life, just knowing what God is doing here. If you're an alum, I hope you're catching a glimpse of what God is doing today. It's not just past tense, it's present tense, and we'd love to help you. We're going to give an update on the giving here in just a minute, but I want Jonathan Glick. John, come over here and join me for just a minute. John is the dean of our chapel. He's responsible for all things in the chapel, leads our worship on a regular basis. And John, it's a joy to have you, man. He's terrified, doesn't want to be on camera, but there's a couple of stories I want him to tell that I think just, again, shows the heart of the campus. So we had this boy come to campus from rural Missouri. He's taller than tall. He's got to be 6'8". At least it feels like he's about 6'11" when you're playing basketball against him. And he came from rural Missouri and really just kind of didn't even know he's coming until youth camp. Yeah. He was at a youth camp and kind of felt drawn to come. Shows up early in the semester, and tell us the rest of the story. You're leading congregation. The Lord comes. There's an altar service, and he comes and prays. And what does he do?
Yeah, so I went down to pray with him, and he prays, and then he looks up at me and he says, "Can I talk to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but I didn't realize he meant right then. And he stands up and goes to walk out the side door. And so I follow him out the side door. I mean, this is mid-service. Yeah, right. And we go out the side door, and he says, "Jonathan, I think God just called me to preach." And this is a guy, I mean, this is fall revival, a couple weeks into the semester, and a month and a half before school, he wasn't even planning to go to Bible school.
Right.
And
he's the kind of guy, he's a tremendous basketball player and loves hunting, loves all that stuff. And because he put himself in an environment
absolutely
to hear from God, the Lord spoke to him. And we have a future pastor right now. Yeah. And so exciting. And recently, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then he wants to meet every week. We meet every week to pray together, to talk, to encourage one another. And I mean, he's all in.
Wow.
And he's preaching now in class.
I love it. And then recently, there was another student who came again, rural America, Indiana, and came to campus kind of as just a get your 1 year of Bible college. Yep. And he came, and what did he say?
Yeah, so he said, he had planned to come 1 year. And again, this same kind of scenario, 2 months before he comes here, he's not even planning to go to Bible school. Felt drawn here, and he said, we meet, and that's a whole nother story of how God brought us together to meet weekly and pray together and share. And he said one day, he's like, I thought I'd come for 1 year. He's like, but now I'm wondering if I need to come another year. Wow. And here he is signing up. He's going to stay longer. God's working in his life, and he's already growing. I mean, it's amazing how weekly he is growing.
Amen. This highlights what God is doing in the life of our students, but it also highlights the fact that here's a guy whose primary job is to make sure the chapel functions appropriately, lead in the music side of worship, and does a fantastic job, none better. And yet God is using him to mentor others. Jonathan, thank you for sharing those stories. I appreciate it so much. Remind you to like this video and to share it with your friends and to give. Giving.gbs.edu. You can give through Cash App at God's Bible College, the Cash App sign. We'd love for you to just give in those ways. We're going to give an update in just a minute, but we watched the video this morning, and Kent, you didn't do anything to get fired. Man, you're back.
I was hoping I would say something. You'd be like, your services are no longer needed.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't. So you're back at it. It's a snowy day.
not
they
great.
blasted you earlier, didn't they?
They did. I still have snow melting down my back. That's reached my socks at this point. It's not great. You try to be fortified, but sometimes when it's a sneak attack, what are you going to do?
What do you do? Yeah. So you're just gonna maybe stay inside this time.
I think I'm going to.
Yeah. You know what? When you don't have
Structural integrity.
that's a good way to put it.
Exactly.
You're following Grandpa.
I am. The Leonard Sankey hair, I just want to be like him in word, attitude, spirit, and in hair quality.
Well, you're headed there quickly on at least one of those.
It's true.
And just don't bend your head down too low. There'll be too much of a
Glare.
Yeah,
That's right. You know what? The things you learn whenever you're on live stream.
Tis true. So here you go, man. I'm going to leave it with you.
Okay.
I'm going to go do a few things, and we'll check back in. And at the end of it, I'm going to have a total.
Oh.
I can't wait to share with the folks what God is doing. And I want you to contribute. So like, share, giving.gbs.edu, and help us out to reach our goal. $50,000 match if you give. So dollar for dollar. Make sure it happens. Give right now. We'd love to have you help us out.
I like it. All right, guys, let's hit the road once again. It's your friendly neighborhood tour guide who is not qualified or trained in any way, shape, or form. Kevin Moser is already just he's spitting mad with what I've said before, but it's okay. When you come to campus, he'll give you a tour. So if we just head this way, once again, you see all of our stuff, the Victory Trio, whatever. I did want to highlight one picture over here. This here's our founder, Martin Wells Knapp, great man, went by Marty. Actually, I don't really know. Probably JK, probably not. But, you know what? I like to think of him as sort of just a joker, a real tease, and, would love to have met him, but sadly he died 90 years before I was born. But, one of these days we're gonna meet, and, it's gonna be a great time. I'm sure what I'm doing right now, exactly what he dreamed of when he started, the Mount of Blessing. So, let's go head this way. I want us to talk to some of the financial bigwigs around here. Let's see. Right in here is Mr. Joseph Tillis. Joey, you are the business manager here on campus. Put her there, partner. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Always a
I stand up
pleasure.
for this man.
Oh, get out of here.
Man runs a lot of stuff.
Get out. I don't know. I paid him to say that, and I appreciate
this man. You
Oh,
know.
get out. All right, so we're doing Giving Tuesday. Don't you leave? I need to interview.
Okay.
We're doing Giving Tuesday, and I just wanted to know, as the business manager, like how easy is it for folks to give to GBS?
Yeah, really easy, really simple. Giving.gbs.edu. Got a whole lineup of payment methods that you can use for that. We have Cash App. Just go to $ God's Bible College. You can even call in. Phone desk is 513-721-7944. And you'll have a lovely phone desk attendant there to process your call and help you out. So we try to make it as easy as possible for you to help us.
I love it. Yeah, and we already talked to the phone desk on our earlier live stream, and she said that the most common transfer that she has to do is to this guy right here. So he is well rehearsed in how to help you in all your needs. We will take your money, and we'll make it as easy as possible. So make sure you're donating. Also,
help us.
Help us. That's right. Also, just you've been a student here. How important is it for folks to donate to the college?
Yes, this is something that you really start to understand when you work behind the scenes.
Sure.
And the whole structure of the business model really of GBS is very student forward, right? Where we defeat the purpose of training students for ministry.
Yeah.
If they're burdened with debt once they graduate.
Sure.
And so what we do is, we created a cash flow or a model that needs donors to help it get across the finish line. And it's a little bit of an act of faith. But I think also it's a beautiful thing in that we are dependent on the people that we try to serve.
Absolutely.
And so as long as this institution is useful to you, as long as it's useful to your church, as long as it's useful to your faith community, then we rely on you to help us help you.
That's right.
And so that's really what we're about here at GBS. We try to make it, sustainable.
Yeah.
And we try to make it student focused.
I love it. Well, you've heard it here first. You heard it from the best, Joseph Tillis, the business manager. Go ahead and give him a call. Go ahead to follow that phone number and the link that he shared. Say it one more time.
Giving.gbs.edu. You can call at 513-721-7944, or you can always check us out on Cash App at $ God's Bible College.
Joey, thanks so much, man. I
you for your
appreciate it.
time.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all you do.
Oh, get out of here, rascal. All right, let's go this way. You know what, Tyler? I think I want to check and see how that snowman was doing. See if Bradley did any good work. Also, beautiful tapestry here. Betsy Ross original, right after the American flag. She sent this over to GBS. It's back to the Bible. Anniversary. Oh, it's so wonderful. Okay, over here. Let's see. You're going to love this. I took a peek outside. Look at the beautiful, beautiful snowman we got right there. I tell you, now that right there is a $50,000 snowman. If I ever saw one. Not Brad's little one that was about $5. That's a $50,000 right there. We haven't named him yet. Right now we'll just use a placeholder. Maybe we'll call him Hugo or something like that. But good stuff's happening here on the campus. So make sure you give, and we'll make a ceremonial snowman for you. We'll put him in the cafeteria freezers, keep him all year round. It's going to be a great time. All right, let's go back in, check on a few things. Let me get that door for you. Okay, where to next? We should probably go back upstairs, see what kind of stuff we can get in. E.G. Marsh, founder of Marsh Grocery Stores. Marsh, wiggle do. Marsh, we value you. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. This is just one more reminder. Keep supporting Ozzy. Pray for him. His hip replacement that's coming up. All your donations will go to help for our campus dog as well. I do want to stop in and check with HR real quick. I have a couple quick questions. She's gone. Well, I sent her an email earlier. It makes sense why she's gone. She's trying to avoid me. I was wondering, actually, and Tyler, you might know this, with the extra stuff that I've been doing today, I wondered if that would up my pay at all. Do you have any idea, maybe? Okay, we'll check with her. Okay. But, you know what, if you think I should get a little extra, little cash, maybe a muffin in the commons or something like that, why don't you drop that in the comments? Could really use a little pick-me-up. Let's go and check on Mom, make sure she's doing okay, keeping encouraged. Oh, Mother! Ding, 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 ding. Here we go.
I can't believe we have to do this.
I tell you what, isn't it great? I mean, we were here just 12 seconds ago. It's amazing. It's amazing how fast time flies when you're having fun. Do you have a microphone?
I do not. I'm going to share yours.
Okay. Budget cuts. We only have one. If you want to go ahead and give right now, we'll buy one of these bad boys before tonight's live stream. Mom, have you heard? Are we doing okay with the old give-a-thon?
Sure, it's going good. We really need some people to chip in,
to step up
to the plate.
I just want to reiterate $100,000 goal. I want you to take a look at that one more time. Just make sure that you're remember. Keep the goal in view.
This project really cannot be overstated. The necessity. I am thrilled to see this happen.
On a personal note, I cannot emphasize the necessity of this.
Well, I see you feel strongly about it.
I do very strongly.
I'm right there with you.
Yes.
I'm right there with you. I think this is something that people can really get behind.
Yep.
I can sense enthusiasm building for it. I think it's an important thing. And people should want to give for this cause.
They should. I venture to say this is a passion project of mine. So I think it's something we should really be involved in. All of us can take part in that.
So it feels like maybe, in all of your raising that I helped form you into the person you are that would want to be part of a project.
Sister, you preach and I'll turn the pages.
Amen.
Amen. Hey, so I do have a couple questions. Let's get serious here, down to the nitty gritty.
Okay, I'm checking my notes.
Yeah, good. Yeah. This is good. So we're trying to be good stewards of everything that we do.
Okay, so now we're getting serious.
Okay. This is business. How important is it for GBS to be frugal?
Okay, so it's very important.
Very important.
We are seriously endeavoring to implement budgetary measures.
Yep.
We're strict. We're serious business.
Yes.
We have a budget and we like to use it.
So we have a budget and we like to use it. Put that on a bumper sticker. Yeah. Hey, so I do have a personal question on that. Growing up, you were a very frugal mother. And many a times we went to Taco Bell and we were told, you can get something on the menu. It cannot be the thing you want. It must be the thing that is, it's not the worst thing, but it's one of the cheaper ones. Is that what we're kind of doing here?
That's pretty much exactly what we're doing. Okay. So can I elaborate a little bit on that?
Please do. The folks want to hear.
So here on campus,
yes,
I'm kind of known as the enforcer.
That's right. A muscle.
It is. And so how this kind of developed is my talents in this area were seen.
That's true. And they are talents.
Yeah. And they were spotted early on.
Yes.
So I was kind of tapped for this role. And honestly, I feel like I was born for this.
Born for this.
I'm a late bloomer, so it kind of came later in life.
It's true. She was in education for decades, 100 years basically. She's an older lady, but 100 years, and now she's doing a second career in finance.
Yeah, and it's because I'm so good.
So good.
So good at enforcing the
Frugality.
strictness and sternness.
Yes.
So
Give an example.
all right, so you remember as I was raising you.
Amen.
So napkins, paper products are okay. So paper products,
They're a luxury.
these are not to be wasted.
They are not to be wasted.
So if you would end up with napkins
Yes.
left over,
Yes.
you always keep a stash, right? Like you,
Case in point one. You keep your napkins. You don't waste them.
would these ever go in the trash?
They would not.
I mean, it would be embarrassing.
It would be embarrassing.
So we keep a stash of napkins.
Yes.
And if you think I'm kidding, you are wrong. If you think I'm doing this for the video, you are wrong. This is like honest to goodness truth.
She will go to other people's tables and take the napkins they have left
I
behind.
can't believe that anybody would leave these.
Exactly.
Or when I see people like do this and put it in the garbage.
Oh, she'll become livid. Test her salvation. We need to pray for her. Paper towels.
We never use a full paper towel.
Never. Don't do it.
You tear off the paper towel,
Yes.
tear off the amount that you need for the job that you have,
Correct.
and then whatever's left,
You save it for the next. Yeah.
you put it in the cabinet or the drawer, because there will come a situation where you will need this, and
That's
you
right.
don't have to use a full
Yeah.
full paper towel.
What do we want? Frugality. When do we want it? Now.
The last thing that I
Yes.
would mention here
Yes.
would be paper.
Yes.
So we print on both sides of paper. You will see here several documents where
Yes.
we do this. And if there's any leftover space at the bottom, the white space, we write on that section.
Personal notes are added in free open white spaces.
Right. So
We wouldn't want to dirty a full page
so
that was
we
completely
have
open.
print here, print here, but you have all this.
Yes.
This is where we write notes. So you never have to buy notebook paper or whatever. You just
All of my birthday cards were the bottoms of already used paper. She just wrote the message, "Thanks for nothing, Merry birthday."
yeah, and like we could cross off happy 5th birthday next year,
6th.
happy 6th.
Yep, exactly.
And you better
it
like
works.
it.
Yeah, it works. I mean, be grateful you had something, right? We're stewards. Frugality.
Yeah, so every dollar you give, it will not, I promise you, it will not be wasted.
Yes. If she has to do anything about the money that's given, it's going to be stretched. It's going to be used for the best purpose.
We're beating the pennies out of them dollars.
Yeah. So not only is your money doubled with Giving Tuesday, but it's also even stretched more because we're just going to be really careful with it.
That is correct.
Mom, do you have anything to say to our fine viewers before tonight's?
Keep Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
Giving at, what is it?
Giving.gbs.edu. Watch Joey's segment. He told all the stuff.
This newfangled stuff, us elderly people can't quite handle.
Mail in your gold. She'll be able to process it that way.
All those pennies that we can't use anymore. Send them in. Okay.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll see you later on. Thanks so much, Mom. Can you believe that, Tyler? I mean, that's just sad. I mean, the fact that she's just wasting that paper, just trying to use it all. I mean, it's just, it kind of just, we need to keep her in our prayers. And if you all could just go ahead and drop some of your prayer comments that you're holding her up and trying to encourage her. It's encouraging to see that she's trying her best, but we need to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. All right. You know what? Let's go over here. I think we're going to stop by maybe, Mr. Quisenberry's office. Just see what he's doing. This over here is our PR wing. There's a lot that's going on. And, now I found it. They moved the HR office on us. I had one quick question for you. There's I've been doing a lot of overtime for this thing. Any thoughts on that request I had for a little upkeep and, increase in the old pay?
Oh, well, if people give enough, maybe we'll all get a raise.
You heard it here first. General donations. If you start just pouring it in, maybe we get a little extra pennies in our Christmas. This is going to be great. This is Rebecca Heimlich, our HR director. She's the best person on campus. Can't say enough nice things about her. It's just awesome. So great. All right. Well, I think what we should probably do is maybe head down. Let's head down. Let's see what we're doing. I think we've talked enough and taken a little tour around the campus. What we're going to do now is try to get that update on the Giving Tuesday. See where we're at on the thermometer. See if we're getting into fever zone, if you know what I mean. Oh man, El Presidente. This rascal. He's right here.
Hey, Kent, where you been?
Oh, all over. You know, I was just checking in on finance folks, on Mom, trying to encourage her. She's taking a step back. She shared some stuff that it was kind of upsetting.
Kind of embarrassing.
A little bit embarrassing. But you know, it's we're gonna keep with her and just try to encourage her. I already told the people to start praying in the comments, so I think we're gonna make it.
Do you think we ought to begin some kind of succession plan? You know, a special retirement? Is it that far?
Well, I'll only tell you this and the 1,000 people watching, but you know, I'm already looking into some homes and some things. And if I can get a little, maybe even a shed, something at Costco, we can put it over here on the south lawn. That'll at least keep her close. We can keep an eye on her, but you know, we'll see. We're start checking our options.
Rumor has it she does wander around in the mornings already.
She does. 5 a.m. She gets out there.
Security guards have been telling me for a while that she's unsupervised.
Yes, she is. And you can't keep track. I have an air tag on her so I can follow her all around all the time, but it's tough.
Yeah. Well, we put a special program on her computer. Mm-hmm. That way we see, what she's doing, make sure she's working.
Exactly.
And it's tough. Think about the employers for a minute. Yeah. You can't fire somebody like that, can you?
You can't. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't do it. You just encourage them as best you can and then just hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, I wonder, has anybody given? John, come bring this thing. Let's see where we're at. And
this looks good. There's a lot of red.
Is that getting up in the fever range for you?
Oh, I think so. We're almost there. Right now it's low grade, but we're getting up into the emergency room.
Man, we're up there almost around 60,000.
This is good.
And
this is good.
There's still opportunities for folks to give. Giving.gbs.edu. By the way, I saw that fumble just a minute ago.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And so that is the way you can give through Cash App at God's Bible College. And we'd love to see it that way. If you go to giving.gbs.edu, we have Google Pay and Apple Pay and Kent Pay and Rodney Pay, whatever. We just want you to give. There's several options for you to give. Make sure you do. We're going to be back live.
Oh, yeah.
6:30 tonight. It's going to be another bang-up time. You don't want to miss it.
No, you don't.
Join us again 6 o'clock or 6:30.
See, I'm already slipping. Close.
There's a bunch of old people upstairs.
It's true.
And
we're starting at 6:30. That's past my bedtime. I have a 15-day-old. This is not good.
Not good.
Not good at all, friends. You don't want to miss it because we might say some funny things.
We may. Hopefully it's kosher.
That's right.
All right. Join us 6:30 tonight. Thank you.
We'll see ya.